Hey guys, Jeff here. I wanted to show you really quick what I actually went ahead and did. So I made, excuse me, I made an advancement in using the shaders as a class again, but now I'm using it. I'm creating classes that inherit the shader class. Inheritance is something that is new to me, but not entirely new. I've used it years and years and years ago. Excuse me. So now the shader class is, I took it out of the house class, and then I tested it with the house class and made the house class inherit the shader class, and it worked, and of course it's fine. So now we have the block class and the shader class, which is really cool. And so I went ahead and made the sphere. See, here's the house class inheriting the shader class as public. So I took out the ID variable, and that was really it. There's all the functions were down here, so I just moved them down and changed it. The reason I wanted to do that is because I was putting in the sphere, because I wanted to be able to render cubes and spheres at the same time. And I was going through and classing it out and basically doing what I did with the blocks. And then I ran into the need for a shader, and I'm like, wait a minute. How am I going to call all those functions that are specific to the house? So I switched it, and now sphere also inherits shader. And I went ahead and just integrated it, and everything that the house does, the sphere does. So I created an instance of the sphere right here. Sphere, the sphere. Okay. I did have to initialize the data before the VAO, because when it initializes the VAO in the actual function here, it uses all this data and it copies the data into the vertex buffer at that time. So the data needs to be initialized before that happens. So I initialize the data there. And just like the house, I load the shaders with one function call. So in order to set the texture units inside the shaders, first I use the house shader and set the textures, set the integer there. Then I use the sphere shaders and set the texture there. They're using the same texture, so they're sharing the same texture. I'm not changing up and getting a second texture going yet. Which is not a problem, because before you use the function calls, you just use the shader and then do your calls for the boxes. Then this is it for drawing in the spheres. It's instanced rendering with the element buffer object, sorry, because it's the sphere. Well, let me show you real quick too, because it's all in here. So the data uses indices, so we've got the vertices for the sphere, and then the indices, because more than one vertex is used creating the sphere. Anyways, this is what it looks like. So I've got the spheres drawn above, kind of, and then the cubes drawn below, and it's really cool looking. It's super cool. Okay, so anyways, stay tuned for more. This is just the beginning. I can put anything into my projects now that I can put into a class, which is everything, and they can all inherit the shader class. So, all right, thanks.